Throughout ancient history, Egypt boasted an extensive and intricate pantheon of gods, surpassing those of many other civilizations. Over time, hundreds of gods and goddesses were revered and worshipped in Egypt. Despite this abundance, it could be challenging to define the specific traits of each deity. While many had primary associations, such as with the sun or underworld, their forms and attributes often transformed along with shifts in Egyptian society and changes in their level of importance. Nonetheless, several deities stand out as particularly significant and worth noting. Osiris, a crucial deity in ancient Egypt, represented death, resurrection, and the cycle of Nile floods that sustained agricultural fertility. As the god of the underworld, he was believed to have been a king of Egypt who was murdered and dismembered by his brother Seth. His wife Isis reassembled his body and resurrected him, leading to the birth of their son Horus. Depicted as a mummified king, he wore wrappings that exposed only his green hands and face. Isis' origins are obscure, lacking ties to a specific town or certain mentions in early Egyptian literature. Nonetheless, she became increasingly significant, eventually becoming the most important goddess in the pantheon. As a devoted wife who resurrected Osiris and raised Horus, she embodied traditional Egyptian virtues. As a wife of the god of the underworld, she was a key deity in rites for the dead. Isis was one of the last ancient Egyptian gods worshipped, and her cult spread from Great Britain to Afghanistan. Depictions of Isis with Horus are believed to have influenced Christian imagery of Mary with Jesus. Horus, depicted as a falcon or a man with a falcon's head, was a sky god associated with war and hunting. He embodied divine kingship, with the reigning king in some eras considered a manifestation of Horus. According to the Osiris myth, Horus was the son of Isis and Osiris, conceived after Osiris was murdered by Seth. Horus sought revenge against his father's killer and lost his left eye in the process, which was later restored by Thoth. The loss and restoration of Horus' eye explain the phases of the moon. Seth, god of chaos, violence, deserts, and storms, was the murderer of Osiris in the Osiris myth. However, Seth's depiction as an animal or a human with an animal head confounds Egyptologists. With a long snout and squared ear tips, Seth is often depicted with a thin dog-like body and a straight tail with a tuft on the end. Scholars believe that the Seth animal is a mythical composite, and no such animal existed. Ptah, worshipped at Memphis, headed a godly triad with his wife, the lion-headed Sekhmet, and Nefertum, possibly their son. Originally, Ptah was associated with craftsmen and builders. Deified after death, the 4th dynasty architect Imhotep was believed to be his son. The Greek word Aguptus, which gave rise to the name of Egypt, may have originated from Ptah, one of Ptah's shrines. Re, a god associated with the sun, was often depicted with a hawk's head and a human body. Egyptians believed that he traveled across the sky each day and made a journey through the underworld each night, where he had to overcome the snake god Apopis to rise again. Re's worship was focused in Heliopolis, which is now a suburb of Cairo. He gradually became syncretized with other sun deities, notably Amon. Hathor, the goddess of motherhood and fertility, was commonly depicted with a cow's body, cow's ears, or a human body with a cow's head. She was believed to protect women during childbirth and had a significant funerary aspect as the Lady of the West, where tombs were situated. She was also known to welcome the sunset and was believed to welcome the deceased into the afterlife in the same way, making her an important figure in Egyptian mythology. Anubis, the god of funerary practices and the dead, was depicted as a jackal or as a man with a jackal head. Egyptians associated jackals with death and funerals due to their scavenging habits around cemeteries. During the Old Kingdom period, Anubis was the principal god of the dead before being replaced by Osiris. Anubis is associated with embalming and was believed to have embalmed and wrapped the body of the murdered king in the Osiris myth, thus becoming the patron god for embalmers. Thoth, the god of writing and wisdom, was often depicted as a baboon, sacred ibis, or as a man with an ibis head. He was attributed with inventing language and hieroglyphics and acted as a scribe and advisor for the gods. Thoth was known for his intelligence, possessing knowledge of magic and secrets that other gods lacked. In scenes depicting the afterlife, Thoth is shown weighing the hearts of the deceased and reporting the verdict to Osiris, the god of the dead. Bastet, the cat goddess, was originally depicted as a woman with a lion or wildcat's head. Over time, she was depicted as a domestic cat. Later, she was often shown as a regal-seated cat, wearing rings in her ears or nose. During the Ptolemaic period, she became associated with the Greek goddess Artemis, who was also a divine hunter and the goddess of the moon. Amon was the god of air, his name meaning the hidden one. He wore a crown with two plumes and was symbolized by a ram and a goose. After Theban rulers drove out the foreign Hyksos dynasty and re-established Egyptian rule, Amon was credited with their victory. Amon merged with the sun god Re and became the most powerful deity in Egypt during the New Kingdom. The Amon-Re temple complex at Karnak remains a popular tourist destination today. There you have it. We hope you liked our video about 11 Egyptian gods and goddesses. And if you want more videos like this, please go see our channel and subscribe to see our lineup of interesting topics. Thanks for watching.